Hi there, my name is Carrie and this is Bailey. Today you'll be joining us through a series of beginner strength exercises. I'm going to be doing the exercises standing, so if you find them too difficult, please follow along with Bailey. She's going to be doing the seated variations, and by all means, when you need a break, please take a break. So let's get started. So we're going to start nice and light today, so let's roll those shoulders back. I'm going to make my movement a little bit bigger. So follow along with Bailey if you don't have that range of motion. We're going to do 4 more. 3, 2, last set, last one. Let's take it forward now, or the other way that you were going if you were going the opposite way. Warming up those shoulders. All right, 4 more, I'm counting in pairs. This is 3, 2, last set, last one. Arms at your sides. Bailey's gonna hold the side of her chair and reach across, where I'm gonna reach up and over and allow that hand switching sides, allowing my hand to glide down my side. I'm also pulling in my abdominals as I reach up and over. So we're warming up your spine, your middle back, still warming up those shoulders. We're just going to do 4 more, again in pairs. This is 3, 2, last set, last one. All right, let's take it right into a march. Let's make sure we're standing nice and tall, shoulders down, chest out. Move at your own pace. You can either be faster or slower than me, but remember, this is the warm-up, so don't go too crazy. All right, we're gonna open our feet wide. We're gonna march wide. It's gonna feel a little bit funny in the hips. Bring it back to the center. We're going to do that one more time. Let's open your feet wide, march wide. Bring it back to the center. On the count of 4, we're going to change this to heel digs. This is 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can have your hands on your hip or the sides of your chair. We're just tapping those heels, alternating sides. We also, not only are we tapping those heels, I want you to ensure that you're pointing, have a flex foot, so point those toes up towards you as well. We're warming up the backs of those legs. I am going to add on. If you find it too difficult, you don't have to add on, but let's push same arm, same leg, alternating sides. Last set, last one. This is 4, 3, 2, last set, last one. Let's take it to the corners, no arms. We're going to tap to the corners. All right, let's add those arms in, bicep curl. Four more. 3, 2, last set, last one. All right, we're gonna go into a step touch. I'm gonna step over to the right. And if you're following along with Bailey, Bailey's actually gonna tap side to side. or just, there you go, alternating sides. Hands on hips for right now, or be on your chair. I am gonna add in those arms, but not yet. So this is a step touch. All right, I'm gonna add in those arms. We're gonna reach and pull back. And as you pull back, I want you to squeeze those shoulder blades together. So we're warming up those shoulders, that upper back. All right, 4 more, but in pairs. 3, 2, last set, last tap. All right, we're gonna go into a ham curl. So hands on hips. I'm gonna try and bring my heels towards my buttocks, and Bailey's tapping her toes underneath her chair. If you have nice long legs, you can actually just bring your heel to the ledge of your chair. So no arms yet. I'll show you a side view. So heel towards buttocks, warming up those hamstrings. I am gonna add in those arms. So straight arms, we're gonna press back as you bring that heel towards your buttocks. Again, if you find it too difficult, just take out the arms. All right, 4 more. 3, 2, last set, last one. Let's take it back to a march. So still marching your feet, we're gonna go roll our fists. We're gonna go into fist rolls. As you're marching your feet, warming up the backs of those arms. It's a little bit of a brain exercise as well, because your brain might want to do something different as you're trying to roll those fists and march your feet. All right, 4 more, and we're gonna reverse. This is 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other way. So don't go too fast. Remember, this is just our warm-up. 4 more, 3, 2, and 1. Still marching. Arms at your side. Still marching your feet. We're gonna lift our arms up and down, warming up those shoulders. Or you can just follow along with Bailey and just march. We're not gonna do too many of these. All right, 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Great job. Still marching in your feet. We can slow it down a little bit. That basically is our warm-up for today. But let's end the warm-up with 3 breathing exercises, which I want you to do still moving your feet. So you can slow it down a little bit. You don't have to use your arms. Bailey's gonna take a big breath in and a big breath out, not using her arms. All right, 3 times. Let's inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Guys, great job. Have a sip of water. And if you were standing along with me, if you don't have your chair, this is when we're gonna grab that chair. But have a sip of water first. I'm gonna get my chair ready. We're gonna go into what's called sit to stands. So once you're in your chair, I'm gonna have a sip of water too, excuse me. Once you're in your chair, let's make sure your bums are forward. We wanna make sure that we're seated at the front of your seat. So sit to stands work all your leg muscles. They work your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your buttocks, inner outer thighs, even your core. And not only are we working a big group of muscles, it's very functional. It's something that we do all day. We sit down and get up. So it's a very functional exercise. We're gonna make sure that our feet are hip width apart as best as we can. Just make sure your feet aren't together. And the backs of your heels are gonna be close to the ledge of your chair as best as you can. And so when you look down, you shouldn't be able to see your toes. Your knees should be covering your toes. So once you're set up there, the first part of this move, which I'm gonna show you a side view, or actually maybe I'll get Bailey, as I will call Vanna today. I'm gonna get Bailey to turn to the side. So Bailey's gonna hinge forward from the hip and making sure she has a nice neutral spine. So she's not rounding her upper back, and she's gonna put all her weight into her heels, and she's going to lift her bum off the chair, and then come right back down. When Bailey goes to lift off, this is when she will exhale. She's gonna breathe out. And when her bum comes back down, that's when she's gonna take her breath in. I will be doing the same thing. I'm gonna hinge at the hips. I'm gonna put all my weight into my heels. I'm gonna breathe out, exhale as I stand. When I go to sit down, I'm gonna hinge at the hips again, shoving my bum towards the back of the chair. And when my bum comes back down, that's when I'm gonna inhale. That's when I'll take my breath in. So each exercise today that we're doing, we're gonna be active for 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna give you a 30-second active rest break. And what I mean by an active rest break, I need you to keep moving. I don't want you to just sit there in between exercises. So the movement can be shoulder rolls, it can be lifting your heels, rocking side to side. And you'll see as I'm standing, I'll do some step touches. I just want you to keep moving at your own pace. It doesn't have to be anything aggressive. So I'm gonna get my stopwatch started, and let's go. I'm gonna breathe out, take my breath in as I come back down. I also want you to be mindful of your abdominals. When you go to sit down, make sure you're flexing your abdominal muscles, pulling that belly in. It's gonna help protect your low back. I am gonna count this down for you. We're already actually more than halfway. There's no right or wrong way with your arms, so move them whatever feels most natural. All right, we're gonna do one more, last one. Breathe out and take a breath in. All right, so 30-second break, and I'm gonna set you up for the next exercise while you're on your break. Bailey's gonna keep moving, whatever feels best for her, so she's just gonna rock side to side. So the next exercise, we're gonna go into calf raises. We're gonna work the bottom of your legs, your calves. If you're following along with Bailey, your feet they can be together or open. There's no right or wrong way. And you're simply gonna lift up your heels and then press them down. And you're gonna lift up both at the same time. If you're following along with me, if your feet are together, there's nothing wrong with that, but just know that it's way harder. You're gonna feel very unbalanced. If you want your feet together and you feel unbalanced, you can hang onto your chair for support, but I do recommend having your feet hip width apart. So our break time is up, 30 seconds goes fast, and when you lift up your heels, that's when you will exhale. When you lower back down, that's when you will inhale. All right, here we go, 30 seconds. Let's exhale, breathe out. Take a breath in as you lower down. And I'm still keeping my abdominals engaged, so they're pulled in and tight. My shoulders are down, chest is out, so I'm maintaining good posture too. Go at your own pace. We're more than halfway. We have 10 seconds left. Great job. All right, one more. And 30-second active rest break. Once you have a sip of water, and then once you have your water, keep moving. We are gonna repeat those two exercises. So if you are standing along with me, let's go back to your chair. We're gonna go back to those sit to stands, and we're gonna repeat those two exercises. So everything we do today, unfortunately, we're gonna do twice. Okay, we're almost there. Again, feet are hip width apart. Your heels are close to the ledge of your chair. When you look down, you shouldn't be able to see your toes. The first part of this move, you're gonna hinge from the hips, Keeping a nice straight spine, you're gonna try your best not to round your upper back. And regardless if you're following along with Bailey or myself, you're gonna make sure that you breathe out when you stand and you take your breath in when you go to sit down. All right, 30 seconds. This is our last sit to stands for today. Let's go. Breathe out. Take a breath in as you lower down. And then if you're standing all the way up, when you go to sit down, make sure you're shoving your bums towards the back of your chair. That's gonna help keep your knees nice and safe. We're more than halfway. We have 10 seconds left. 5 seconds. We're gonna do 2 more. Breathing out as you stand. Breath in when you lower. Last one. Breathe out. Breath in. Great job. Active break, 30 seconds. We're gonna go back to those calf raises. One more time. After your water, try and keep moving. It can just be a simple step touch. We're halfway there on your break. 15 seconds left. So we just want to keep that heart rate up. All right, break time is up. We're gonna go back to those calf raises. So try not to have, if you want to, again, your feet can be together, but I do recommend to have your feet hip width apart. If you need to, you can hang on to your support. If not, arms at your sides or hands on your hips. Ready, we're gonna breathe out as we lift up. Take a breath in as you lower. Again, pull in those abdominals. This is very good for your balance. Great job, we're halfway. Breathing out, 10 seconds left. 5 seconds, we're gonna do 2 more. Last one. Great job, active rest break. This is your time to have some water. And I'm gonna set you up for the next exercises. I'm gonna have some water too. This is also when, if you're using hand weights today, I want you to bring them close. We're gonna bring them in. Bailey's not gonna use any weights today, but you're gonna get the same benefit. You can still work your muscles without adding any resistance. Bailey's just gonna have to focus a little bit harder with the muscles that we're working. So for the next exercise, we're gonna go into what's called a chest press. So it works your chest, your shoulders, and the backs of your arms. So if you're standing, let's make sure your feet are hip width apart. And all of us, let's roll those shoulders down and back, chest is out, and we're gonna engage our abdominals. I'm gonna show you a side view of what your arms would look like. So I want you, as best as you can, you're gonna have your fists facing forward and your arms out at your sides, kind of at 90-degree angle. You're gonna press your arms out, you're gonna extend them to the front. I want you to push out and breathe out. When you bring them back, that's when you'll take your breath in. So each time your arms goes out, you exhale. When they come back, you inhale. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. And know that even though you're working your chest and the backs of your arms, you're mostly only gonna feel a burn in your shoulders. All right, shoulders down, chest out, abdominals pulled in. 30 seconds, let's go. Breathe out. Take a breath in when you come back. Breathe out, breath in. So because Bailey's not using any weights today, when she presses out, she's gonna try and squeeze her chest muscles together. That's her focus. This is actually very similar to doing a push-up. We're just doing it standing. We're more than halfway. We have less than 10 seconds. Let's do 2 more. This is your last one. Great job. Keep these weights close by, 30-second break. Try and keep moving after you have some water. I'm gonna set you up for the next exercise. So for the next exercise, we're working the opposing muscles. We're gonna work your middle back, your biceps, and different parts of your shoulder muscle. So Bailey's gonna hinge forward, just kind of like our sit to stands, and she's gonna maintain that position. Both arms are gonna be in front at her sides, and she's gonna row her elbows back, squeezing her shoulder blades together. That's when Bailey will breathe out. And when her arms come back down, that's when she's gonna take her breath in. For those of us that are standing, I'm gonna show you a side view. We're gonna have our feet hip width apart. It's a little bit harder because you have to go into a slight mini squat. So you are gonna be hinging from the hips, but I need you to stick your bum out behind you. My arms are in front, same thing. I'm gonna row those elbows back, squeezing my shoulder blades together. That's when I breathe out. And when my arms come back to the start, that's when I'm gonna take my breath in. So breathe out, then breath in. All right, so we're gonna do this for 30 seconds. And as I said, your focus is to squeeze those shoulder blades. This is very good for your posture, and it's very functional. We use that movement all day to open and close doors. Very functional. All right, ready? Let's go. Breathe out. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Breath in. I'm squeezing those shoulder blades each time those elbows go back. Great job. We're halfway. 30 seconds, it goes fast. We have 10 seconds left. Don't forget to squeeze those shoulder blades. 5 seconds, we're gonna do 2 more. Last one. Great job. All right, 30-second break. Have some water, then try and keep moving. We're gonna do one more exercise. So I'll set you up while you're on your break. I guess I didn't need to put my weights down. So we're gonna work the front and tops of your shoulders. Very functional exercise. And I know some of you, past teachings, they would say, especially if you had any kind of respiratory, not to lift over your head, but things have changed. You are allowed to lift overhead. We just wanna make sure that when you do lift overhead, that you breathe out when your arms go overhead. So if you're standing along with me, feet are hip width apart. You're gonna have your arms in front of you, your elbows in front, and you're going to exhale, breathe out as you press up. And when you lower down, that's when you're going to inhale. And if you can, try and keep your weights or your hands in between your cheekbones and your jaw. Try not to go below your jawline, just to kind of keep your shoulders safe. So do the best you can. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna set up my stopwatch. Time is up, ready? 30 seconds, let's go. Breathe out. Take a breath in as you lower down. Breathe out, breath in. And again, my abdominals are still pulled in, but this one I really want you to focus on your breath. So breathe out, take a breath in. Good job. You'll start to feel a burn. We have less than 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 2 more. Last one. Great job. 30-second break. Have some water, then keep moving. We are going to repeat all those 3 exercises. One more time. After your water, try and keep moving. It can just be a simple step touch. We're halfway there on your break. 15 seconds left. We only have 10 seconds left. So we just want to keep that heart rate up. All right, break time is up. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. And know that even though you're working your chest and the backs of your arms, you're mostly only gonna feel a burn in your shoulders. All right, shoulders down, chest out, abdominals pulled in. 30 seconds, let's go. Breathe out. Take a breath in when you come back. Breathe out, breath in. So because Bailey's not using any weights today, when she presses out, she's gonna try and squeeze her chest muscles together. That's her focus. This is actually very similar to doing a push-up. We're just doing it standing. We're more than halfway. We have less than 10 seconds. Let's do 2 more. This is your last one. Great job. Keep these weights close by, 30-second break. Try and keep moving after you have some water. I'm gonna set you up for the next exercise. So for the next exercise, we're working the opposing muscles. We're gonna work your middle back, your biceps, and different parts of your shoulder muscle. So Bailey's gonna hinge forward, just kind of like our sit to stands, and she's gonna maintain that position. Both arms are gonna be in front at her sides, and she's gonna row her elbows back, squeezing her shoulder blades together. That's when Bailey will breathe out. And when her arms come back down, that's when she's gonna take her breath in. For those of us that are standing, I'm gonna show you a side view. We're gonna have our feet hip width apart. It's a little bit harder because you have to go into a slight mini squat. So you are gonna be hinging from the hips, but I need you to stick your bum out behind you. My arms are in front, same thing. I'm gonna row those elbows back, squeezing my shoulder blades together. That's when I breathe out. And when my arms come back to the start, that's when I'm gonna take my breath in. So breathe out, then breath in. All right, so we're gonna do this for 30 seconds. And as I said, your focus is to squeeze those shoulder blades. This is very good for your posture, and it's very functional. We use that movement all day to open and close doors. Very functional. All right, ready? Let's go. Breathe out. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Breath in. I'm squeezing those shoulder blades each time those elbows go back. Great job. We're halfway. 30 seconds, it goes fast. We have 10 seconds left. Don't forget to squeeze those shoulder blades. 5 seconds, we're gonna do 2 more. Last one. Great job. All right, 30-second break. Have some water, then try and keep moving. We're gonna do one more exercise. So I'll set you up while you're on your break. I guess I didn't need to put my weights down. So we're gonna work the front and tops of your shoulders. Very functional exercise. And I know some of you, past teachings, they would say, especially if you had any kind of respiratory, not to lift over your head, but things have changed. You are allowed to lift overhead. We just want to make sure that when you do lift overhead, that you breathe out when your arms go overhead. So if you're standing along with me, feet are hip width apart. You're gonna have your arms in front of you, your elbows in front, and you're going to exhale, breathe out as you press up. And when you lower down, that's when you're going to inhale. And if you can, try and keep your weights or your hands in between your cheekbones and your jaw. Try not to go below your jawline, just to kind of keep your shoulders safe. So do the best you can. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna set up my stopwatch. Time is up, ready? 30 seconds, let's go. Breathe out. Take a breath in as you lower down. Breathe out, breath in. And again, my abdominals are still pulled in. But this one, I really want you to focus on your breath. So breathe out, take a breath in. Good job. You'll start to feel a burn. We have less than 10 seconds. 5 seconds, 2 more. Last one. All right, we are all done with our hand weights today. The next few exercises, and you're on your break now, so have some water and keep moving. I'm gonna set you up for the next exercise. So you can get rid of these for today. We're gonna come back to our chair, for those of you that are standing. And we're gonna do one core exercise that we are gonna do twice, because we do everything twice, and then we'll have our cool down. So if you're just coming back to your chair, let's make sure your bum is in the front of your chair. We're gonna do an exercise called stir the pot. So this works your deep core muscles, your hips, your low back, even a little bit of your buttocks and the backs of your legs. So we have to open our feet wide, and there's actually really not too many variations with this. So Bailey and I will actually be doing the same thing mostly. The only variation is, and I'll show you once we get started, is just how far you go into the center. So we're gonna imagine that we have a big, let's say a big witch's pot in between our legs, a big cauldron in between our legs, and we're gonna pretend our hands are the spoons. So we're gonna interlock our fingers together. And from this, you do have to hip hinge again without rounding your back. So we're gonna stir that pot. We're gonna make a big circle. and you're gonna lean forward. This is when you'll pull in your abdominals. And this is where the variation can be. If you have a tender low back, don't go too far in the center. Keep your movements small. You don't have to do the breath work for this one. You can choose to breathe as if you're walking or doing stuff around home. For some of you, the breath work might be too hard and too fast, but I will teach you for those of you that want to practice. So I'm going to pull my abdominals in. When I go out to the center, this is when I'll breathe out. When I bring my hands back, that's when I'll take my breath in. But just know for some of you, it might be too fast, so just breathe as if you're walking around home. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna go the other way for 30 seconds without a break. You should not feel any pain with this one or any of the exercises we do, but if you feel low back pain, please discontinue this exercise. All right, let's go. 30 seconds, I'm gonna breathe out, take a breath in. So I'm leaning forward without rounding my back. We're halfway, more than halfway. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds. 2 more stirs. Last stir. All right, we're gonna go the other way, reverse. 30 more seconds. Each time I go to the center, I'm pulling in those abdominals. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds. 2 more stirs. Last stir. Great job. All right, so 30-second break time. Let's keep moving. After you have your sip of water, try and keep moving because we're at the end of the class. Nothing too aggressive. Bailey and I are just kind of rocking side to side. I'm lifting up my heels. We're going to do that one more time, and then we'll stretch it out. So in today's workout, you've pretty much worked every muscle in your body today. We didn't miss too much. All right, time is up. Let's open those feet wide. We're gonna pull in our abdominals. Our hands are our spoons, so interlock those fingers. You choose how far away you move in the center. Ready? Let's go. You can breathe out when you get to the center and pause when you come back to take your breath in. But again, if that's too difficult, just breathe as you do when you walk around home. More than halfway. We have 10 seconds left. 5 seconds, 2 more stirs. Last stir. All right, we're gonna go the other way, reverse. Good job, we're almost there. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds, 2 more stirs. This is your last stir. Great job. All right, have a sip of water. I'm gonna have one more sip of water and we are gonna stretch it out. Excuse me. So if your bum tended to move back, scooch it forward. Let's bring it forward again. We're gonna start stretching from the bottom up. So let's stretch our hamstrings. We're gonna stretch out our right leg. You're on your heel, you're gonna have a flexed foot, and your right leg, you want it to make sure that it's completely straight. You're gonna lean forward onto your other leg, feeling that discomfort, that pull in the backs of your legs, right down to your calves, the bottom of your legs. I really want you to point those toes up towards you. Keep a flexed foot. Really get in those calves. And actually just holding your foot flex, which is actually called dorsiflexion, really helps you to keep walking strong too. So there's lots of benefits to even just holding your foot flexed. So still holding this position, we're now going to press those toes down. It's almost like you're pressing on a gas pedal. You can see our toes really aren't touching the ground, but they are pressed down. So now we're kind of getting the front of your shins. Maybe you'll feel this around your ankles. We're just holding each stretch 15 to 20 seconds. And release that stretch. We're going to go to the other side. So let's stretch out that left leg. It's completely straight. We're on our heel, a flex foot. So point those toes up towards you. We're leaning forward on the other leg. Again, feeling that discomfort, that pull in the backs of your legs right down to the bottom. Really trying to point those toes up towards us. All right, still holding this position, you're gonna press those toes down, almost like you're pressing on the gas pedal. Our toes aren't touching, but it is pressed down. You might feel this in your shins, your ankles. And let's release that stretch. Let's go to our hips and buttocks. So if you're following along with Bailey, Bailey's gonna take her right foot and cross it over her left ankle, and she's really just stretching her right leg. So she's stretching her hips and buttocks on the right side, and she's gonna lean forward. Just know for some of you, you might not feel the discomfort. You might not feel this in your hips and buttocks. Just know you are still stretching your hips and buttocks. If you wanna make this harder, follow along with me. We're gonna bring that right foot on top of your left knee. For some of you, you might feel that discomfort just by staying upright, but most of you, you're gonna have to lean forward, and that's when you're really gonna feel that discomfort in your hips and buttocks. This is great to keep your hips open, stretch those glutes that get really tight, that can pull on your low back. It's a very good stretch to do every day if you think of it. And again, 15 to 20 seconds. You don't have to hold it too long. And if your knee is a little bit high too, that's okay, it just takes time. And let's release that stretch. We're gonna go to the other side. So Bailey's gonna take that left foot over her right ankle, and she's gonna lean forward. I'm gonna bring that left foot on top of my right knee, and I'm gonna lean forward. Again, feeling that discomfort in the left hips and buttocks. And maybe one side you have to follow along with Bailey, and the other side you can do my option. That's okay. And let's release that stretch. Still sticking with our hips and buttocks, I want you to hop your right foot out to the corner. So it's kind of on the corner of your chair as best as you can. It might look like Bailey and I shifted our body, but I need your hips and your left knee to still be facing forward as best as you can. So with the same hand as that leg that's out to the corner, you're gonna take your right hand, and I want you to cup the inner part of your right knee. Once you're there, I want you to put some light pressure on that knee. You're gonna press it outward. Once you're there, I want you to try and sit nice and tall. So for some of you, you might feel nothing with this stretch, but some of you might feel this in your outer hip, your buttocks, maybe underneath your legs. Some of you might feel it in your groin area. But just know that you're not doing anything wrong if you don't feel anything. Not every stretch you have to feel discomfort. And let's release that stretch. We're gonna go to the other side. So hop out your left leg kind of to the corner of your chair. Again, our hips and knees are still facing forward, even it looks like we switched over and twisted our bodies. Same hand as that leg. Your left hand, you're gonna cup it and put it around that left knee. I want you to put some light pressure on that knee. You're gonna press it outward. Once you're there, try your best to sit nice and tall for me. So again, this helps to keep your hips nice and open. We don't, as we exercise, our hips and all our muscles get tighter. So that's why it's so beneficial to make sure you do the cool down after you do the exercises. Because the tighter our hips get, then our back gets tight. And then eventually over time, it does affect your walking. And release that stretch. All right, let's go up to our low back. So this one you'll like. We're gonna lean forward. There's no variations for this stretch. We're gonna rest our elbows on our knees, just looking down. This stretches your low back, and you should not feel any discomfort with this stretch or pain. If you feel pain, please discontinue. And let's slowly roll it back up. Let's go to the sides of our body. We're gonna stretch our middle back. There's one variation with this, but all of us are gonna take our right hand and you're gonna put it beside you on your chair. So the palm of your hand, I want you to put some weight into that arm. It's actually healthy for your shoulder. So you can lean onto that arm and your elbow can bend. Bailey's gonna reach across in front, and you would do this variation if your shoulders are tender or you don't want your arms overhead. I'm gonna bring my arm up and over, and not only am I reaching over, I'm also reaching up as well. So we're opening up the middle back, stretching your rib cage, and if you're following along with me, we're also opening up that hip as well. Try not to hold your breath, especially if you're following along with me. And let's release that stretch. Same thing. So left hand, palm of your hand. You're gonna put some weight into that palm. You can bend that left arm. Bailey's gonna reach across. I'm gonna reach up and over. And remember, I'm not only reaching over, try and stretch that arm up too, fingers towards ceiling. And release that stretch. One more stretch. This is our last stretch. Let's stretch our chest. So we're gonna bring both arms behind you. You're gonna grab the back or the bottom of your chair as best as you can. Shoulders are down, chest is out, and you're gonna push your chest forward. So those arms are straight behind you and you're slightly leaning forward. This opens up your chest, stretches your shoulders, the middle and backs of your arms. You might feel a little bit of this in your spine. It stretches your spine extensors. And as we keep having a birthday every year, this will ensure that your posture doesn't start rounding, because as we keep having birthdays, our spine will naturally want to kind of round, especially with everything we do during the day. So this will help to ensure that doesn't happen. Great job, and let's release that stretch. So to end the class, we're gonna do some breath work. I'm gonna have a sip of water, so excuse me, I encourage you to do the same. And what we're gonna do with this breath, I want you to take a big breath in, starting from your belly as best as you can. And if you feel, we all naturally breathe very shallow, and if you are on oxygen, then you're breathing even more shallow. So to try a little test to ensure that you are taking a big breath in from your belly, when you take a big breath in, you want to feel your belly come out a little bit, a little expansion. It doesn't have to be big, but just a little bit come out. So a little tip that you can do is you can have one arm across your chest and the other hand on your belly. So when you take your big breath in, you should feel your belly expand more than your chest. If your chest is expanding more than your belly, then you're breathing a little bit shallow. Try not to get frustrated with it. These exercises just take time and practice. It's really just to bring awareness to you. And the more body awareness that we have, the better this will get. So if you might be frustrated with these exercises today, but it will get better over time. So we're gonna take a big breath in, and then I want you to hold it for 5 seconds. You're gonna hold that breath. And then after 5 seconds, when you go to exhale, when you go to breathe out, you're gonna count to 4 in your head and slowly exhale that breath so we can ensure that you get that breath out. Another tip, you don't have to do it, but another tip is that when you go to exhale and you're doing your counting, you're gonna purse your lips. And it's as simple as it sounds. You're literally gonna put your lips together and purse them as you exhale, and that just helps to kind of get all the air out because we don't want to hold in that air that we just held. All right, we're going to do this 3 times and then we're all done. Do the best that you can. Bailey's going to stay in this position. I'm going to be conducting you. So one thing I will say, I talk a lot with my arms. So when you are taking your big breath in, please keep your arms at your sides. Do not hold your breath with your arms overhead. All right, ready? Here we go. We're going to take a big breath in. Let's inhale. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly exhale. I'll give you a few seconds. Have some water if you need to. Know that this type of breath work will exuberate some coughing. That's very normal, and hopefully with practice and time that coughing will stop. So if you are coughing right now, do what you have to do. Have some water. All right, here we go, second time. Let's take a big breath in. Let's inhale. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly exhale. I'll give you a few seconds, let you catch your breath. We're gonna do this one more time, and I want you to try and take in as much air as you can and hold it. Last time. And this exercise, you can actually do numerous times throughout the day. And as you start practicing it, you can start adding on time. So you can work your way up to holding it for 8 seconds or 10 seconds or up to 20 seconds. Please just don't do it over 30 seconds. It's really unnecessary. 20 seconds is top. All right, last time. Ready? Big breath in. Let's inhale. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly exhale. Great job. We are all done. The best part. Thanks for joining us.